What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Let's get on your feet, please, and let's salute in. Today is a very, very good day. Let's get it popping. Let's get on our feet, please. Shake it down, shake it down, shake it down. It's clear 3 times. Exhaling out the mouth. Hands on the eyes the whole time. 2 more clears. Exhale out the mouth. Pushing 2 columns of energy deep down into the earth. Big inhale. Exhale. Hands on the thighs. Bow at the waist, eyes forward. Repeat after me. We honor and respect the masters that came before us and strive to follow in their example. Stand and turn to the right. Bow. Honesty to myself and others at all times. Stand, turn to the right. Bow. Humility in thoughts, words, and deeds to those above and beneath me. Stand, turn to the right. Bow. Patience. I will put the needs of others before that of my own. But not the greedy, but not the greedy, but not the greedy. Stand, turn to the right. Bow. Sincerity. I will fear only my lack of sincerity. Stand. Tahuti. Step out with the left foot. Both hands are pressing. Right. Back. Right fist at the heart. Palm over it. Fold it down. Bow to your teacher. Bow to your classmates. Bow to your ancestors. Bow to yourself and your inner child. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Did I miss y'all? Did y'all miss me? Did y'all miss the huddle? It ain't about did you miss me? Did you miss the huddle? Yeah, let me see what that's about. Peace to all the family that's up in this joint. To Dizzy. What happens when you take 8 grams of mushrooms and you lead a huddle? You know what I'm saying? Over 100 people. You know, you got 8,000 people on your email. Only like between 35 and 100 could show up at any time. And you haven't been in on mushrooms in over since November 2022. So November 22, November 23, November 24, then May 25 makes that 2.5 years, then 2 more months. So that's 2 years and 8 months, 24 plus 8, 32 months being outside, you know what I'm saying, not tapping in on my sorcery type thing. So put a 0 in the chat if you've never taken above 3 grams of mushrooms. Just put a 0 in the chat if you've never taken over 3 grams of mushrooms. Now, you know, y'all know I'm with Senyata and I'm always on that, hey, let's, you know, don't spoil their surprise and things like that. Oh, it's a bunch of 0s in here. Okay, well, when you take mushrooms, you go on an empty stomach. So you have to fast at least 7 hours. So me, I don't even go in until like 9 o'clock because I want it to be nice and dark and I want you to be up with the mushrooms all night while everybody else is asleep. So I normally take a nap around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, take me a nice nap. Stomach is real empty. Now, why is the stomach empty? Because your abdominal brain has got all the memory in your gut. Everybody be talking about gut health, gut health. Oh, my gut, my gut. What's your memories like? What are you letting come in, right? So when you take your car to the shop and Let's say you got a Porsche. They're going to plug the engine up. They're going to plug the whole car up to a computer, and the computer's going to analyze your car and then come back with a report. And it's going to say, this is what we found on our scan through the computer. The mushrooms is the computer, supercomputer. You are just a vehicle. You're a bag of air. Just like me, I'm a bag of air. So when we say get the bag before noon, we're really talking about, of course, y'all know about that paper, but you also have a bag of air in your stomach. When we breathe down in here, you're putting new data into your gut when you breathe into your gut. So when the mushrooms come in there and do the inspection, this month, this week, this day, this year, in 3 or 4 years, they're going to see the data. They're going to be, the first thing they're going to check on is, how do you breathe? If you've ever been to the Gin room, I always tell people there's always turbulence on a flight, but you can breathe through it. Your breath is your seatbelt that'll get you through anything. But if you don't know how to breathe and you be chest breathing and panting up here, when the mushrooms go through there and they be like, oh, this person breathes like a dog. This person is a high chest breather. They're going to write that down. They're going to be like, oh, this person has a lot of unnecessary adrenaline coming through their body that I'm going to have to get past in order for them to relax, in order for them to get downloads or heal from traumas, right? So for me, I was very nervous because I was like, I ain't been in 2.5 years. You know how much data they're gonna have to analyze? They're gonna analyze my whole trip in Bali. They're gonna analyze like any sexual experience I've had, any business I've done, anything I've been studying intently lately, any challenges that have been going on, whether they are conscious, subconscious, or unconscious. The mushrooms are going to go in there and analyze and be like, what's up? And one thing they're going to be looking for is, have you been in here before? Is this your first time in? So I knew they was going to be like, oh, you've been here several times. We know you. We got your table over here close to the stage by the saxophone and the piano. We know you like to sit right here and close to the kitchen and blah, 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 blah. But for those of you who ain't been in and you're nervous about it and all that, all you're doing is delaying your own situation. You're delaying your own analysis, because as much as I got sciences and all this, I can't go in and measure your gut, because human beings will lie. Human beings will be thinking too much and be worrying about what I would say if I could read your gut mind. Ain't nothing up here but trouble, but in your gut is all the answers. So I don't even want to go into your gut, but I know the device that can go into your gut that can give you similar or even better results than what I get. So as a 3-5, I just lead people and point the way that's safe, proven, and show enough. So there was a lot of dialogue this weekend on 8 grams of Tamarian blues with no music, no candles, no extra lights, none of that, because mushrooms make their own music and they don't want to be disturbed. They don't want to be disturbed. And they gave me some real clarity that I was like, oh, I got to get back to the huddle and explain some things. Because I always look at triangulation. You ever been praying or meditating and the phone rang? Whoever that was, they are trying to triangulate your coordinates. So now you wait until you finish praying or meditating, you grab the phone and you look and see what time it was. You can go pull that chart up, or you can just be like, oh, this person was triangulating on my location in their mind and body to see where I'm at, to give me information that goes along with this meditation or prayer. So the people who called me the next day, because I did my best not to tell nobody. I told a few people, but I did my best to keep it to myself so people would stay out my business. What happened? What you do? Why are you worrying about what happened with me? You need to be worrying about when you can go in. And so one of the phone calls I got, because I was just like, man, I just want to just let it all go. I'm just going. I'm just gonna let it go. And then I get a phone call about Condor. I was like, why would somebody be calling me? I have two organizers helping me with Condor. I was like, I thought I checked all the boxes. I thought I brought Cole on here. I thought I talked about this several times. I thought I got somebody to make a link for people to pay. I thought I heard a lot of people saying, yo, I'm going. I'm going. And then the person calls me and say, hey man, it's only 3 people. And I was like, oh. And normally my old self would jump up and be like, I need to convince these people that this is. And I just was like, nah, because there's too much noise. I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to deal with that. What did I say? I said, I'm going to Condor no matter who goes. And if you don't want to go, that's fine. And then people spoke fast and then was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And now it's like, oh, 3 people. So we haven't rented the house. Everybody's doing everything else except what I asked them to do. That's why the third rule is following instructions saves lives. Oh, I already paid through Condo. I already did this. I already did this right here. What about this? Can you modify this? Can you modify that? I never had a teacher listen to me about modifying something when I was going to a master. So I was just like, am I supposed to be, if I want to, oh man, I honor and respect the masters that came before me and strive to follow in their example. Why should I be modifying something that I know will work already just because somebody got a whole bunch of questions? No, all my teachers said practice. Dr. Gibson practice. And Dr. Gibson was never explaining a bunch of things to me. He said, this is what I'm doing. If you want to be in this energy, feel this presence, and get this transmission, then you get there. That's how it's been. And I feel far too nice at trying to coddle, these new age people who ain't never had a real master like a Senyata or nothing like that. It's nothing to brag about having a official tissue master either. It's like a burden. It's more of a burden than a brag because of the responsibilities I carry. Then you have to ask yourself, who he gonna put first, me or his teacher? That's what you should ask yourself right now. He already gave me an invitation. Is he gonna keep on begging me or is he gonna keep on walking the path of his teachers? Some of you, I think, are unsure. Today, I'm here to remind you. If we don't have 15 deposits by Tuesday of next week, then there'll be refunds going back, and you can figure out how you're gonna get to Condor on your own, where you're gonna stay, and all of that. And I'll see you all on Thursday at Condor. And you won't be around me spending no time around me. In my mind and in my gut, and what Spirit told me was like, you are a Jedi. I'm training Jedi. This is a part of my training. Come to the training. But guess what? It's always about the sacrifice. Every time something you just get all excited, just remember you're going to be challenged immediately. What my man said, Myron said, there's awareness. Then the next one is intention. So I brought it to your awareness. Then there was intention. This new path produces new problems. Because now you got to be like, am I really like that? Am I really like that? Because one thing I said yesterday when I talked to Lord Zer is I'm not dealing with like people who just like, oh, I'll just wait till August. I'll just wait till the end of August and then I'll make my deposit. I'll pay the whole thing then. Not to me, you won't. Because if it's not 15 people committed by next Tuesday, I'm shutting that shit down. Let's be real, not Condor, because I'm gonna still go and enjoy myself. But and if it's not gonna be enough to just type it in the chat and be like, I'm going, I wanna go, I am this, I this. It's $2,800 plus tax. So it's right at $3,000. I've already explained what the itinerary is. Arrive on Tuesday, full day with me on Wednesday. We leave at 8 o'clock Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and a van takes care of all the transportation. I don't know any other questions. What the itinerary is when you get to Condor, I don't care. I don't care. And if you really care like that, everybody, you know what's going on? You one of them control freaks. And that's fine because I'm the founder of Control Freaks Anonymous. So I know what you smell like. I know how you move. I know everything about you, male and female. Just, I know. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. And I just look at people because what do I teach Jedis? What do we trust? What do we trust? Who want to come off? Trust what? Come on, somebody come
What
on.
people show you.
What people show you. Trust what people show you, not what they put
For the
in.
first time.
The, every time, not the first time, but every time. So guess what? I feel that, and I know that in selling things, you have to have a high know, like, and trust factor. So when I shut this thing down next week, you all will trust me and say, oh, he really about that. And then I'll see, well, who paid and what they want to do, because they act like they committed. So right now it's 3 to 4 people, right? When you bow into the 4 directions, you bowing into all the masters and the students who bowed in on these same directions. And the instructions are when workshops are held. That means even this free little old huddle. Whose benefit is this huddle for? Who'd like to come off of mute and answer that question? Whose benefit is this huddle for?
Mine.
My
Me.
What am I getting out of it? I like to teach and like to talk,
Boom.
but this ain't, I can teach myself. I can go outside. I ain't hit my white crane today. I only hit 3 cobra breaths. So I could come in here to the huddle. Firewater over there rubbing his hands right now, like, slip up if you want. Turn my ceiling fan on. Tell y'all a story. So we know last Sunday I had I had that medical scare messing with my kidneys, and then I found out about the emotions and all this other type of stuff. And that was the same weekend I was supposed to go do the mushrooms last weekend, but I didn't. Something didn't feel right, or the timing wasn't right. And I really wasn't paying attention to the astrological nothings. And I was just like, I just go next weekend. And Thursday morning, I got up. No. Rashid sent me some fruit. He sent me a watermelon. And I was about to bust a watermelon. And I was like, you know what? The watermelon got seeds in it. You should give this whole watermelon on behalf of Rashid to the ancestors. So I ain't cut the watermelon. I took the whole watermelon and took it upstairs. And then to give the watermelon, I had to clean up my whole, my altar room had been incomplete. And I cleaned it up in like 20 minutes. I'm talking about it's fresh too. It was looking good. It ain't like Mem Street, but you can tell that, you know, they designing it right. So I took the watermelon and gave it to the Jade Emperor, Rashid. Yep. On Thursday morning, which was July the 17th. All of y'all should listen to this story very clearly. And I came outside that morning. I had a lot of energy too, a lot of energy. And it was just like, well, if it's anxiety, that means the energy trying to go somewhere. But all you got to do is attach to the positive side of a fact and do some movement. So I go downstairs and I'm sitting outside and I was like, I don't want to do nothing today except Tai Chi, because I talked to Firewater and I told him what happened about my kidney. And after I finished talking, he didn't come at me hard, but I could tell he was disappointed in me. He was like, all these qigongs and exercises that we know, your kidney not supposed to be doing that. He said, and your kidney is attached to the heart. When the kidney go, then the heart is next. Heart failure always is preceded with kidney problems. So I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna have no heart problems. I'm gonna give my kidneys attention. And I ain't gonna let my homeboy down. So I said, today, I'm just going to practice and get high. I had just got some new weed from my man June, some sativa, some Kugly Googly, right? I've been smoking too much indica because it be shutting me down. So I was like, let's try some sativa, right? Got some lime green, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna practice today, and I'm gonna be dedicated. And then a soft voice came in my mind and said, not my voice, a strange voice. It said, why don't you challenge Firewater to a 100-day White Crane challenge? And then my voice was like, why would you want those problems? That's ridiculous. This nigga practices 17 times a day. Why would you want to challenge him? That's like Laura wanted to say, I'm gonna just go challenge OE to some slap boxing. I'm gonna just go and a wrestling match. Not Sensei Jazzy now. Not Sensei Jazzy gonna have a way better chance than
Oh, my hands like that. Oh.
but even Sensei Jazzy is not gonna be like, I'm gonna challenge this nigga to a fight for 100 days. You fucking crazy. That's dope.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, Sifu. You got that?
You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't challenge.
Yeah, but I don't know what condition.
Yeah. But so that's when my mind, I'm just like, you just thought of that. And so it's funny to me. So I text Firewater and say, nigga, guess what happened? This thought just came in my head about challenging you to a 100-day White Crane. I hit enter, and then I'm trying to put the next text in to tell him that I didn't think it was a good idea. Before I can hit send, what does he say? Challenge accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a 4-motor generator just like me, and he's a Scorpio. And he used to play tailback, okay? And he trained in martial arts and acting, and he just ain't got he got nothing but dog in him. He talking about I accept. I had to call him on the phone and say, hey man, I said, that wasn't my voice. He talking about it's on now. So now I got to do Tai Chi every day, 4 directions for 100 days, which is going to give us 400 rounds of Tai Chi. Today is day 6. I ain't slipped up and he ain't slipped up. We just on that joker just like this. Just like this right here. If any of y'all want to get in, who know the White Crane, you could get in. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do your 100, right? Now, as we sitting there and we get the conversation going and stuff, I was like, well, look, I'm gonna go get started. So he had just sent me this podcast from Senyata that I did in 2010. Listen to this very carefully now. This was Thursday. What was the date for Thursday? Who want to go look it up? Somebody go put what was the date for Thursday in the chat.
The 17th.
17.
And the supreme mathematic, that's what?
8.
Knowledge God. Knowledge God, all being born to build and destroy. And my birthday is on the 17th. Now, at this point, I'm not paying any of this attention because I'm trying to figure out what have I done messing with Firewater. So now I get off the phone and I get my speaker and go outside. And some of you saw it on Facebook, right? And I was like, day 1 of a 100-day challenge. And I'm listening to Senyata and I'm listening to it. I'm going through my Qigongs. And at some point in the interview, guess what I say? I say, Senyata, I remember the first day I came to you, July 17th, 2001, blah, 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 blah. Hard time out. Hard time out. I said, what's the date? I don't know it's the 17th yet. I just know it's July. And I'm thinking it's the 15th because that was the last time I looked at the phone for the date. I press pause. I pick the phone up and I look at it and it's July the 17th, 2025. Who'd like to do the math? Who'd like to subtract 2001 from 2025 and tell me what's left over?
4 years. 4 years.
4 years with time.
No, I think your math. I said 20 2001 subtract 2025.
24.
Right. And what can happen twice in 24 years?
8,700.
The dragon, a dragon year?
That's
Jupiter, Cancer?
and
Jupiter returns. 2 to 2,
Jupiter,
Jupiter returns.
Jupiter is, so I go back, my nosy self, and I pull up what? July 21st. July 17th, 2001. And guess where the sun, guess where Jupiter was at?
Cancer.
1 degree in Cancer. One,
Aye.
just got there. Now, what's my religion for $1? Who wants to name my religion on here? What's my religion? Sheree of Light, you don't know my religion? Elisa, you don't know my religion? So y'all don't be paying attention when I be talking. I can tell. I see this is what's happening. Latifah doesn't know and Joy doesn't know my religion. It's crazy. I got my religion from Santos. Sequence of events.
Authority?
Sequence of events is my religion. It better be yours if you want to get where you want to go. Sequence of events. I be telling people socks and shoes, which one you put on first? Ooh, boy. If you put your shoes on first, then put the socks on, it's going to be a crazy day outside. Bra and blouse. You put your blouse on first and put your bra on, because you might be a mental health candidate. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Toothpaste and mouthwash. If you put the mouthwash in first, what's going on? Sequence of events. So I was like, what was I doing 24 years ago? Woo, I had them things going. Them things was moving out. They was coming in and moving out. The Jamaicans was coming to the house, backing up the van. We was pulling them things out, going inside, shutting it up, having a great conversation. I was at the damn pinnacle. And then one day I'm on the way to the house and I passed my cousin on July the 16th, 2001. And his name is Cypher. And I had never met him before. And when I met him that day, he said, and my father had cancer. And he said, I'm going to this, Senyata's teaching a workshop this weekend on how he healed himself from cancer. And of course, I was like, I think that's some bullshit, but I'm going to go investigate because I'm a latchkey kid and my daddy raised me. So now my daddy's inspiring me to go check out this man who says he healed himself from cancer so I can learn it and take it back to my daddy. That's an honorable thing to do, in my opinion. Cypher called Senyata, asked permission, can I come? And on July the 17th, around 5 o'clock, they came and picked me up, him and Chris Locke, and we drove to Winston, and they drove to Winston-Salem. And I pulled up in the parking lot. They pulled up in the parking lot, and I got out, and Senyata was coming out the door, and I was going up the driveway. And I was like, man, you look familiar. I know you from somewhere. And he was like, I know you too. Now, is it any way possible that in 2001, I would be thinking about AI or mushrooms or running a huddle or living in Bali or any of these things? Impossible. I didn't know where I was going to be at in 3 or 4 years, much less 24 years. However, in sequence of events, one decision I made that day changed the whole course of my life. Because Thursday, when I was sitting outside, nice and high, I said, you've been on one path for 24 years. What does it matter whether you're a millionaire or not? You're successful. You're successful. Who cares about the bread? You practicing Shindao, means the way of the gods, the way of heaven. And I was like, I've been telling everybody just to look back 12 years. What was y'all doing 12 years ago? Remember last week? I was like, what was y'all doing 12 years ago? That energy is back. What was y'all doing 12 years ago? Now, guess what? Now go back 24 years. What was you at 24 years ago? Everybody in the huddle. Who can name it? Put your age down. How old were you 24 years ago? We about to see what's cracking now.
July 16th, 2001, I graduated high school.
And the next day, I'm walking to see Senora with a pocket full. I ain't take no. I just took some weed. I ain't take no hard product. I just took a pocket full of weed and a pocket full of money, and no gun. I ain't take no pistol neither. So what? Nadia's in here, right? So I was just like, man, So every time the moon goes in Cancer, I change my life. Because 12 years ago, I moved to Atlanta in my Uranus opposition, changed my life. All the decisions that I did right at the beginning when I got to the A got me right here. All the decisions that I made when I walked in Señada's class, because I was coming that Wednesday, I was going to take the class on Saturday and Sunday, and I was never coming back. And the man told me one time, this is why I'm like, I'm not frustrated, but I'm just going to tell you this story, because if you think I like you more than I like Senora, it's not even a good dream that you're in. And he said, if you come back regularly, you will enhance this energy faster. So you could heal your father and whoever else needs it. Now, my Chinese zodiac is the dog. Yama's nickname for me is the bionic pit bull. In the past, when I have locked down on something and refused to let go, sometimes this went bad. Sometimes this went very good. But my loyalty is ridiculous. So I'm not, but he never called me and was like, are you coming to class? He never called me and said, are you coming to this workshop I'm having for you? He never called me and said, do you have your dues? He never called me and was like, I gotta, never. So why should I? He trusted me because he knew I was gonna be there every Wednesday and Sunday. I had a house in Greensboro. I went and rented an apartment in Winston so I could walk down the sidewalk to his house. I had 2 cribs. I've had 2 cribs a lot of times, but I had 2 cribs at this point. That's how in I was, with no idea that it would pay off like it's paying off right now. So if I say, hey man, do y'all want to go to Condor for your benefit? You got to make the decision. Now, you could look at the price too, and you could make an excuse to nothingness and build a monument to nothingness. And you could use these, what is it, excuses, tools of the incompetent. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Everything's about prioritization. But this goes back to what the 8 grams showed me this weekend, because they was talking about Myron. Are you listening to the noise, or is the noise overriding the signal? When you at the wall of suffering, you can't hear God's voice. I done told y'all that a million times. So there's a lot of noise going on, even in my life, when I was like, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. Qigong time. This is what I did this weekend to all the things that was like a lot of things that was noise on my calendar. Yeah. Man, fuck all that. Ain't nothing feel better than saying fuck all that when you on some mushrooms. For those of you, you be saying fuck all that, but if you ain't said fuck all that on 5, 7, 9, 8 grams, more than 5, then you really ain't really like felt it, the greatness of, man, fuck all that. You can say it now when you're sober, but it don't mean the same. Trust me, trust me. And I was like, it feels so good. All I want is the signal. You know what other signal they gave me too? And sometimes they'll give you something and you be like, ah. But they had already been listening to my conversations with y'all and Myron. They was like, why don't you just raise the floor? Because I was worried about, how do I serve all these people? How do I do the mushroom retreats? How do I do the bufo retreats? How do I such and such and such and such and such and such? And they was like, you're giving people way too much access, which a lot of people, you know, come to me and tell me that, but they don't never have no solution. They just be talking. I have a lot of talkers around me. I got advisors, I got really wise, and then I got some talkers who tell me things like, you know, you have on a red shirt today. You know, your glasses are sitting on your nose. And I just be like, that's what you had to tell me? Like, I didn't see. And it's like they want to tell me, like they're looking out for me, but they don't know me. And it's my fault they don't know me because I'm not being clear. But the mushrooms was clear with me. Now, y'all know I be liking to use, where's did Firewater leave? He might have had to dip out. Oh no, there you go. I'm gonna ask.
I'm here. What's up, though?
Would you go into any entheogenic experience without your Yi Ming Zhu?
Me personally, no, I wouldn't.
Okay, thank you. You can go on back on mute. Now, so if he wouldn't go in without his Yi Ming Zhu, Firewater, do you think I would go in on an entheogenic experience without my Yi Ming Zhu?
I wouldn't put money on it.
Okay. The man said he wouldn't put no money on it because he's absolutely correct. I ain't never been in. The only time I didn't have no Yi Ming Zhu was when I went in with the first time with Dr. Amsu. But as soon as Yi Ming Zhu came in my life, we inseparable. So when I sit for somebody who doesn't have a Yi Ming Zhu, am I doing them any justice? And the jury came back and said, no, you're not. You just pacifying them. Oh, if I just take these mushrooms real quick, and a lot of what you think is true. When you take these mushrooms, you know, certain stuff is going to happen. You're absolutely right. But I want to promise you on my mama that it ain't going to be the same without no Yi Ming Zhu. I can tell you that. Trans-dimensional travel. How do we go out and get answers? See, people be selling you, heal your trauma, heal your trauma, heal your trauma. You don't have to explore to heal your trauma. You should heal your trauma with the intention to what's next. What's next should be going and exploring. All my traumas, remember like you see them CIA movies, the double agents and stuff, they tell them don't wear your ring because if you got a shadow on your ring, they'll know you got a wife. So you being hard, they torturing you, then they'll come and be like, oh, well, we're just going to kill your wife and your kids. How'd they know you had a wife and kids? You told them. You had an indicator. So for me, it's like, they was like, you really shouldn't even be sitting for nobody if they don't have a Yi Ming Zhu. I was like, God dang, that's tough. That's tough and true. And it won't hurt my heart. It won't hurt my heart. Because the people who are going to get the most out of their Yi Ming Zhu is the people that add mushrooms and add bufo to it. You're going to have experiences that I cannot explain or relay. No matter how much a person paid me or how long I talk to you, I don't even attempt it. That's what Sunyata meant. I ain't going to spoil your surprise. And then I was like, but. And then I was like questioning them right now. Oh, no. No. So I was like, I accept. Wait, but I just want to, that's cool. I don't got it where I can get a Yi Ming Zhu and the mushrooms. Guess what you should choose first then? The rarest one. Tamarian blues, they're kind of difficult to find, but we're gonna keep growing them. We're gonna keep sourcing them. Yiming shoes? No. No, 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 no. Yiming shoes don't keep getting made. Every time one is sold, prices go up. They get more and more expensive every time somebody buy one. Because they become rarer. They're not being reproduced anymore. These are not Teslas. These are one-offs. And they're looking for you to guide you again this lifetime. I'm so happy and grateful for my Yi Min Ju that I qualified and did the sacrifice that I had to do to get reconnected with mine. Then the mushrooms and all that can come later. Today I have to call some people back who say they want to do Bufo. And I have to tell them, do you have a Yi Ming Ju? They probably are going to say, what's that? Then I'm going to ask them, would you like me to cheat you and cheat your experience? Who in here would like me to cheat you in your experience? Just put a 1 in the chat. Would you like me to cheat you in your experience? I don't see no 1s in here, so that means, no. Do you want me to cheat you and cheat your experience? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you want me to connect you with your Yi Ming Ju, but don't tell you not to wear it in water? Do you want me to hook you up with a Yi Ming Ju, but don't give you none of the rules or none of the background or nothing? That'll be cheating your experience. Do you want to come and do Bufo and the place not be clean and the towels be dirty and the blanket don't be fresh and the pillows don't be crispy? I know you didn't want that. Right. And if you've asked anybody who ever came to the Jin room, it ain't but 2 words that can describe it. Red carpet. Red carpet. I spare no expense. I lay it all out. If you've ever had breakfast with me the next day after coming out of ceremony, whatever it takes to make sure it's red carpet, that you have the best experience. Over deliver, undercharge, over deliver. So I'm going to Condor in September. I would hope that some of you would like to go. You know, you're going to have to take action. And if you don't, it's okay, because they're going to be other events that me and Zer will be doing that will be teaching integration. Now, teaching integration, you don't, or any type of Condor training or stuff like that, you don't have to have a Yi Ming Ju. But I am thinking, if I'm gonna do a retreat and I only can bring 20 people, then why would I let somebody come in who ain't got no Yi Ming Ju? Because I know people who got Yi Ming Ju want to come to ceremony to me to ask me specifically about Yi Ming Ju and this, Yi Ming Ju and that, Yi Ming Ju and business, Yi Ming Ju and luck, Yi Ming Ju and mushrooms, Yi Ming Ju and whatever. So now if a person is there and they don't have one, they just sitting over there like this. And that was because what? My fault. I'm the one that wasn't serving them correctly because the path wasn't clear. So today's huddle is about me clearing the path for folks. When people come to you, this is why I tell you to raise your prices. When you raise your prices and somebody comes to see you, you should have the next 2 or 3 things for them to do after they did that. They come to Adonis, they spend $111. Before they get off the phone, he's supposed to be telling them about the $1,100 offer that he has that they're going to need next. He already know what they got. He just did the reading. They're going to need his assistance too to finish it. When you go to the hospital, to the emergency room or something, and then you leave out, do you not leave with like a checklist of what to do afterwards? Physical therapy, or revisit, or make an appointment with this person, or go see this specialist? So I have been doing a poor job of that, thinking that the reading was enough. And then I'll wait for a person to ask me what to do next. That's ridiculous. You a child in this stuff and coming to me for my wisdom. So I apologize. All of you who've gotten a reading for $100, $350, $550, whatever the price is going to be in the future, and I didn't tell you, yo, you need this next. I apologize. For all of you who lining up to get readings, and I'm about to give you a reading, trust me, when we finish, I'm gonna know what is the thing that I could offer if you wanted to work with me after the reading. I have like 4 things. Yep. And I don't, none of them are cheap. Let's say that, because I'm not cheap and your experience is not cheap. And it's to help condition you. And so you won't die a broke ass lecturer. Oh, he went there. Big money July, big money August, big money September, meaning you got to do things that's big money. Don't try to be me and just sit up here and just wait for somebody to come pay you to do a lecture. You got to create abundance and revenue out of thin air with your talent. That's what applied knowledge of self is. What you think we in the dojo for? Yeah, you need a lightsaber, but you also need a treasure. Your lightsaber is to help protect you and protect your treasure and guard your treasure, or dig out in the mountain. If a lightsaber can cut off somebody's arm or cut a body in half, it can definitely start cutting through, like it can dig you a hole. If you need it, it could carve something in the mountain. If you need it, it could slice your gold up for you and your diamonds for you. But this is a complicated path at some junctures when you don't focus on staying on the path. See, excuses is the easiest way to get off the path. It's the easiest way. It's the easiest way to get off the path. So easy. And it's because it comes from somebody else. Now, everybody talking about, is there a link to buy Yi Ming Zhu? There will never be a link to buy Yi Ming Zhu. Never. There'd be a link to schedule an appointment and a consultation, but there will never be where you could just, because Yi Ming Zhu is not a clear quartz crystal. See what I'm saying? Like right now, the lowest end Yi Ming Zhu I have is $500, and that's a book and a Yi Ming Zhu. I got one aqua pearl left that's 700, and then I got a black purple, which it's not many. Whoever that one's for, I'm waiting. That joint like 3,200 or something, right? I probably have, yeah. So we're talking about anywhere from $500 to $5,000. There's more expensive, but I have between 500 and 5,000 because Kalindi wanted Black and brown people in America who wanted to explore using entheogens to have Yi Ming Zhu to protect yourself when you are out there in them places. This one, all you got to do is you slide over here. Kalindi Iyi Explorer. Bam. Go to this Kalindi Iyi tribute. Go to playlist. And yep, this is it right here.